Are you one of the millions of Canadians unknowingly leaving thousands on the table with your RRSP? What if I told you the biggest mistake isn't about how much you contribute, but what you do after? Today, we're uncovering the costly RRSP blunders that could be sabotaging your retirement, and more importantly, giving you a clear, actionable plan to fix them starting right now. I've seen countless Canadians trip over these very same hurdles, turning a powerful wealth-building tool into a source of frustration. In fact, a recent survey revealed nearly 60% of Canadians are confused about their RRSP, leading to missed tax savings and slower growth. This confusion isn't just a minor oversight, it's costing people thousands annually, preventing their RRSP from truly working for them. So, are you ready to transform your retirement savings from good to absolutely exceptional? Let me know in the comments, what's your biggest RRSP question right now? Do you ever feel like your RRSP isn't growing as quickly as it should, or that you're somehow missing out on the significant tax benefits everyone else seems to enjoy? Perhaps the thought of penalties for early withdrawals gives you anxiety, or you're just utterly baffled by how your RRSP fits into your overall financial picture alongside your TFSA. Many hard-working Canadians diligently contribute year after year, only to discover years later that their money hasn't been optimized, or worse, they've made a foundational planning error that will cost them dearly in retirement. It's like pouring concrete for a house without checking the blueprints. You're putting in the effort, but the structure might not stand strong when you need it most. Today, we're going to dismantle these common misconceptions, from critical investment oversights to hidden tax traps and pervasive myths. We'll equip you with a precise action plan to ensure your RRSP is finally working its hardest for you, securing the comfortable retirement you've always dreamed of. The very first and arguably biggest RRSP blunder Canadians make isn't about if you contribute, but what happens next. Many treat their RRSP purely as a tax deduction tool, a place to park money to reduce their taxable income. But here's the kicker: it's fundamentally an investment vehicle. The single biggest mistake is contributing funds and then letting them sit uninvested, perhaps in a low-interest savings account or a GIC, for years or even decades. Imagine putting a powerful, high-performance engine in your garage but never actually starting it up and driving. You've got the potential, but you're getting zero benefit. Take Sarah, for instance, a dedicated professional who faithfully contributed to her RRSP for 15 years, only to realize her contributions were just sitting in a basic savings account, earning barely anything. She missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential compounding growth. The immediate action here is clear. Log into your RRSP account today, right now, and see what your contributions are actually invested in. If it's not diversified growth assets, you're essentially leaving your retirement on life support. This simple check can unlock the true power of compounding, transforming your RRSP from a static savings account into a dynamic engine for wealth accumulation. But that's just the beginning. Now, let's talk about the immediate, tangible benefits you might be missing. Tax savings. Mistake number 2 is leaving significant RRSP tax savings on the table by not strategically timing your contributions. It's not enough to just contribute. You need to optimize those contributions based on your marginal tax rate. Many Canadians contribute consistently but fail to align their contributions with their highest earning years, where the tax deduction would be most valuable. Think of it like this: if you have a powerful lever, you want to use it when it can create the biggest impact. If you contribute when your income is relatively low, your tax deduction provides a smaller benefit than if you were to defer that contribution to a year when your income, and thus your marginal tax rate, is significantly higher. For example, a recent graduate making $45,000 might get a decent refund, but if they waited until their income hit $80,000 or $100,000, that exact same contribution would reduce their tax bill by thousands more. The immediate step for you is to review your current income and project your income for the next few years. Understand where your income falls within Canada's marginal tax brackets. Planning your contributions to align with higher income periods ensures you get the maximum tax relief possible, putting more money back into your pocket each and every year. But what happens if your investments inside the RRSP aren't actually growing? That leads us straight into our next critical error. Building on the previous point, mistake number 3 is why your RRSP isn't growing as fast as it should due to a suboptimal investment strategy. This goes beyond just leaving funds uninvested. This is about holding too much cash within the RRSP, investing in assets that are simply inappropriate for long-term growth, or failing to regularly rebalance your portfolio. Imagine being 35 years old with 30 years until retirement, and 70% of your RRSP is invested in GICs or short-term bonds. While these offer stability, they are notoriously low-growth vehicles, especially when compared to equities over a multi-decade horizon. You're sacrificing potential returns that could literally double or triple your retirement nest egg. The Canadian market has shown consistent long-term growth, yet many Canadians miss out by being overly conservative in their RRSPs. Your immediate action should be to thoroughly assess your RRSP's asset allocation. Does it truly align with your long-term goals and, crucially, your risk tolerance? For most young or mid-career individuals, a more growth-oriented approach with regular rebalancing, at least annually, is essential to maintain your target allocations. Accelerate your RRSP's growth, ensuring it not only keeps pace with inflation, but builds substantial, life-changing wealth for your future. But sometimes life throws curveballs, making people either RRSP a little too soon. That brings us to mistake number 4, falling into the early withdrawal trap. What you absolutely need to know before even thinking about touching your RRSP funds prematurely. Unless you're using specific approved programs like the Home Buyers Plan, HBP, or the Lifelong Learning Plan, LLP, pulling money out of your RRSP early is incredibly costly. You're hit with immediate withholding taxes, and even worse, you permanently lose that valuable contribution room. Consider Mark, who needed $15,000 for an unexpected home repair. He thought, "My RRSP has money, I'll just use that." He withdrew the funds, immediately lost about 25% of it to withholding taxes, and now that $15,000 in contribution room is gone forever. He can never recontribute that amount, drastically limiting his future tax-deferred growth. It's like setting your future self on fire to warm your present self for a moment. Instead, understand the rules of the HBP and LLP inside out if you plan to utilize them for a home purchase or education. For any other needs, prioritize exploring alternatives like tapping into your tax-free savings account, TFSA, or a dedicated emergency fund. Avoiding this trap preserves your precious retirement contribution room, letting your money grow unhindered for the future you truly deserve. Speaking of TFSAs, that leads perfectly into our next common planning error. Mistake number 5 is a planning error that costs Canadians thousands: misunderstanding when to prioritize contributions between your RRSP and your TFSA. This isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. It depends entirely on your current income, your future income projections, and your specific financial goals. We often see high-income earners prioritizing their TFSA when an RRSP deduction would provide a much more substantial immediate tax benefit. Conversely, a low-income earner might contribute to their RRSP, getting minimal tax benefits now, only to face higher taxes when they withdraw those funds in retirement. It's like having two powerful tools in your toolbox, but always picking the wrong one for the job. For example, a young professional earning $50,000 might benefit more from a TFSA in their early career, saving their RRSP room for when their income jumps significantly. On the other hand, someone earning $120,000 should almost certainly be maxing out their RRSP first. Your immediate task is to assess your current income,
honestly project your future income trajectory, and define your long-term financial goals. This assessment is crucial for determining the optimal strategy for prioritizing your RRSP versus TFSA contributions. Doing this right optimizes your overall tax efficiency throughout your entire working life and well into your retirement. But even if you use the RRSP for its intended purpose, there's a crucial detail many Canadians miss. That brings us to mistake number 6, overlooking a crucial RRSP detail that many Canadians miss, especially if they've dipped into their home buyer's plan or lifelong learning plan. It's the often forgotten recontribution rule. If you've used funds from your RRSP through the HBP to buy your first home or the LLP for education, you are under a strict repayment schedule. Ignoring this schedule means those amounts become taxable income, creating a nasty surprise tax bill. Imagine borrowing money from your future self, promising to pay it back, and then completely forgetting about it. The Canada Revenue Agency certainly won't. For instance, if you withdrew $20,000 through the HBP, you have 15 years to repay it, meaning about $1,333 must be recontributed each year. Missing just one of those annual repayments means that $1,333 becomes taxable income for that year. Your immediate action if you've utilized the HBP or LLP is to diligently track your repayment schedule. Set reminders, automate transfers if possible, and ensure you make your annual repayments on time. This prevents unwelcome surprise tax bills and, more importantly, maintains the integrity of your RRSP as a powerful tax-deferred growth vehicle. But what about the other end of the RRSP journey? That leads us to mistake number 7, not having a long-term withdrawal strategy, which sets you up for future tax nightmares. Most Canadians focus intensely on contributing to their RRSP, which is great, but they completely neglect planning for what happens when they actually need to withdraw that money in retirement. They fail to consider the eventual RRIF conversion, Registered Retirement Income Fund, and how those mandatory withdrawals will impact their overall income and taxes in retirement. It's like meticulously planning your hike up a mountain, but completely ignoring the descent, which can be just as treacherous. For example, some individuals funnel all their retirement savings into an RRSP, only to discover in retirement that large mandatory RRIF withdrawals push them into a significantly higher tax bracket than necessary. This means they pay far more tax than they needed to, eroding their hard-earned savings. Your immediate step is to start thinking about your retirement income streams now. Consider your tax diversification. Should you balance your savings across RRSP, TFSA, and even non-registered accounts? This proactive planning will help you minimize taxes in retirement, ensuring that more of your hard-earned money stays exactly where it belongs, with you when you need it most. And while we're on the topic of contributions, let's debunk a common myth. Mistake number 8 is falling for the contribution catch-up myth. While it's true you can carry forward unused RRSP contribution room indefinitely, it's a common misconception that simply dumping a large sum into your RRSP just because you have the room is always the best move. It is absolutely crucial to align these large contributions with periods where you are in a high marginal tax rate. Think of it this way. If you have a massive amount of credit you can claim, you want to use it when it gives you the maximum possible reduction on your tax bill. Imagine someone receives a substantial bonus, but their overall taxable income for that year is relatively low compared to future years. Contributing the entire bonus to their RRSP might provide a smaller tax benefit now compared to strategically deferring some of that contribution to a future year where their income and consequently their marginal tax rate is projected to be much higher. Your immediate action is to strategically plan your contributions, even with a mountain of unused room. always consider your current and projected marginal tax rate. For significant amounts, a quick chat with a financial advisor can save you thousands by helping you claim your tax deductions when they provide the greatest benefit. This shifts our thinking about the RRSP fundamentally, which leads perfectly to mistake number 9. Your RRSP is not a savings account. This is the #1 mindset shift you need to make right now. Far too many Canadians treat their RRSP like a regular accessible savings account, either keeping funds uninvested for too long or using it for short-term goals. This fundamental misunderstanding prevents them from leveraging its true compounding power. It's like owning a Lamborghini and only driving it to the grocery store once a month. You're severely underutilizing its potential. We've seen people use their RRSP for things like a car down payment or keeping significant cash reserves within it rather than in a liquid emergency fund.
The RRSP is not your emergency fund. It is not for your next vacation. It is specifically designed as an investment vehicle for long-term retirement growth, distinct from any other savings you have. Your immediate action: reframe your thinking about the RRSP's primary purpose. It is a long-term growth engine, not a short-term bank account. This mindset shift alone will drive appropriate, disciplined long-term investment decisions, leading to significantly greater wealth accumulation and a far more secure retirement. So, how do you put all this into action? Mistake number 10 isn't really a mistake, but a vital final step: creating an action plan to fix your RRSP mistakes today for a better tomorrow. This isn't about overwhelming you, it's about empowerment. Start with one audit, then move to the next. First, immediately review what your RRSP contributions are invested in. Is it truly aligned for long-term growth? If not, take steps to rebalance or invest. Second, assess your contribution strategy against your marginal tax bracket. Are you maximizing your tax refunds? Third, ensure you fully understand the rules around early withdrawals, especially regarding the home buyers and lifelong learning plans. Are you on track with repayments? Fourth, start planning for your retirement income and how your RRIF withdrawals will be taxed. And finally, diversify where you save. Don't put all your eggs in one RRS basket. Your immediate takeaway is to pick one of these audits and start today. Even a small step makes a huge difference. Every single day you postpone reviewing and optimizing your RRSP is a day you could be leaving significant money on the table. This isn't merely about numbers on a statement. It's profoundly about securing the retirement you truly deserve, one free from financial stress and worry. Remember this powerful truth: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is undeniably today. The exact same principle applies to optimizing your financial future. Your present actions are literally creating your future reality. You have the power to change your trajectory right now. If these insights have helped you understand your RRSP better and truly empowered you to take decisive action, please don't hesitate. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe for more practical, impactful Canadian finance tips designed to help you thrive. And more importantly, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which RRSP mistake are you committed to fixing first, starting today? Your journey to a financially secure retirement free from costly errors begins with that very first step. Your journey to a financially secure retirement free from those costly errors begins right now. By taking these decisive steps today, you're not just saving money, you're investing in your peace of mind, your financial freedom, and building the future you've always dreamed of. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and keep growing your wealth. You absolutely have got this, and I'll see you in the next video.